Hey everybody, it's Mark Yegi. Happy Easter and welcome to another Market Pulse. Today is the 17th of April. Can you believe it's April already? Wow. Anyway, we are, excuse me, we are in a red market. This is the theme that's been going on pretty much all year. We got a lot of selling going on. We got a little bit of a break this week in that we're getting some recovery. I don't know how much more pain we're in for. I feel like we're in for a lot more pain, but who knows? Let me show you what we're looking at. And we just talked about in our mastermind call. Let's go for it, right? Yeah, sorry about that. A little frog in my throat. Okay. So what you're seeing here is we've got four red lights on the screen, right? We're below all the moving averages. We've got momentum coming up a little bit, but still momentum is a bit negative. There's not a lot of good things to like about this market right now, unless you're on the short side. If you're on the short side, you can make some money. I have a strategy out there called the juicy puts on three different stocks right now, and it's working really well in this short market, in this lousy market. So check it out. But anyway, here's what's going on. Look at how nice this was over here on the left side of this chart. And then all of a sudden, just a quick breakdown where just everything just kind of fell apart. And we can't hold a 200-day moving average. We're, got a death cross going on right here. We've got a lot of negative stuff going. Yeah, we have a little bit of a dead cat bounce going, and we had one coming up, a few weeks ago. But, this is coming into a pattern that I call the dreaded H pattern. And I'll show you what that means. It means that we have this, see, we had a dreaded H here. At the bottom of the H is when the market went down, right? And so you got to watch those dreaded H patterns. Something that I've identified on charts, looking at gazillions of charts now, but I'm not saying it always works, but it's pretty predictive. Nothing always works. There's a breakdown going down here, and we're up on, there's no volume right now. So we can't really tell exactly what the market wants to do, but it certainly doesn't look like it wants to go up and stay up. So that's what I see. Let's keep going. So we've got, look at all these charts look exactly the same. That's the NASDAQ. That's the S&P 500, same patterns, right? A down and up, a down with a dreaded H, right? Not brain surgery. This is the Dow, a down and up, a down with a dreaded H. And this is the New York Stock Exchange. So all of them are basically in confluence, right? They're working together with each other. And, that's not really good because it's on the downside. Look at the volume, though. The volume has at least come back a bit for us. So that's a saving grace. It's not all the way back, but it was in the low teens and it went all the way up to 60. Just the volume spiked, as you could feel if you were in this market for the last couple of weeks. Now, at least it's come back down to 30. Still not back to the mean where we want to be, but that's better than nothing if you're a bull, right? The gold bugs index is the index that's outperforming pretty much everything else. And so it's up, it's spiking up, it's making new highs. People are in gold and gold mining now, and things are looking good in gold. On the other side, though, oof, look at this chart. This is the disk drive index. And if you know what's going on, if you don't sell disk drives, that means you're not selling computers. And if you're not selling computers, that means all the tech companies are getting hurt. And you could see there's a death cross happening here and a lot of, let's call it, not good. And that is, it's made new lows. Look at it's the same pattern. Down, up, down with a dreaded H. It's just amazing how this stuff repeats. Now, will we get another test of this 300? It came right to the penny and bounced off the 300. I think we get another test there. And we see if we get volume. If we get volume going through that, we're going a lot lower, everybody. That's just how I see it. In fact, I see we're kind of going lower anyway. We might have some little fits and starts with some dead cat bounces in here, but I think we're in for some lower. I hate to say it. Let's look at Nvidia. And I'm just going to go through a few stocks and I'll let you go. It's, you got more important things to look at than these stocks this weekend. You got family and hopefully friends coming over and all that kind of stuff. But I want you to look at the weekly on Nvidia. So Nvidia, this is not a good looking chart. It looks different than the other ones because it's smoother, but that's because it's the weekly. This doesn't look anything like it looked in the middle of this chart, right? Now it's rolling over, death cross. It went down and tested this average. That's a good thing about this is it tested and bounced on a beautiful high volume hammer candle. That means maybe this is here to stick. I don't know. I still see a lot of problems with Nvidia right now, but that's at least a good sign, right? It's a green shoot or a seed that's been planted. But I think we're going to have another test of that, maybe. And if it goes through that on volume, then I think we have this $78, $76 level that it's got to go to. And I think it's probably done going down at that point. That's what it feels like to me. Heck, I don't know. I'm not Nostradamus, but that's the way I read the chart. Now, you see that chart? Wait till I show you the daily. It's messy and nasty and poopy and it's ugly, right? Look at this. It's just all over the place, right? There's just as many bad weeks as there are good weeks, bad days as good days. It's just all over the place. And this really exaggerates the feeling that I get from Nvidia. And that feeling is it's not a healthy stock. I don't care how great it is. Great company, unhealthy stock, the way I look at it. And it needs a lot of work to stop going down and go back up the other side and get back up to those all-time highs. I think it will. I just don't think it will next week or next month, but I think it will. I just don't know if you could pick the bottom here, right? We see a test down here of the $90.69 level, which was a successful test. And now we gotta hold these moving averages. And I don't see that happening for a while. Apple, same thing. We'll do a weekly, then a daily. Look at the weekly on that. Not a dreaded, but a death cross here. A doom and gloom I'm talking about, right? But the death cross here, it had a beautiful up hammer candle. It's trying to come down here and test this 170 level. I don't think it's going to get there, at least in the next couple of weeks. But I don't see healthy when I see the Apple chart. I think if you're going to do what we do here at the Cash Flow Machine, where we make income, you got to sell in the money on Apple and create smaller amount of income, but have the cushion in case it goes to the downside instead of hoping that we're going to get these bounces. We may. But the odds to me and the probabilities look like it's going down. Now, that's the weekly, and here's the daily. Notice how it's not as nasty as that Nvidia chart, right? But we do have some nasty. You see that gap right there? It tried to get filled 4 days ago, couldn't fill it. That's a problem. I mean, we still might take another run at it, but if it can't fill that gap, that's going to leave a gap on the chart. That means it's going to want to go down and test this 170 level, something like that. And, that's where I see it going because Apple is just a little bit weak. All right. MicroStrategy, to me, doesn't this look different? You see this chart? It looks different, doesn't it? Because it's above the 200, it's above the 50, it's bounced off the 200-day moving average 4 times in the last couple of months. That's healthy. Look at the relative strength, 98. It's performing better than 98% of the stocks in the database. That's pretty good. I see MicroStrategy going higher. It's just how I see it. I haven't always said that. It hit a high at 543. And after that, I was like, you got to be in the money, protecting yourself all the way down. And I've got 45 videos out on MicroStrategy showing how I've traded this since November 20th. And if you want to see that, go back to the November 20th playlist on MicroStrategy. You could see everything that I've done. I haven't hidden anything, and you could see the math. And you can see that this strategy really does work, even in a stock that's gone from 543 all the way down to like 210 or something, or 230, whatever it is. And now it's, back up above its 50-day moving average. To me, with the macro environment, I don't know what you think about Bitcoin, but to me, Bitcoin is now in play. Finally, right? Like it's been hovering between 108,000 and 75,000 over the last several months. But I think all of that is to get rid of the weak hands. And now we might be going up the other side. You know what? I can't predict Bitcoin, and I never do. But I'm just telling you that this feels different to me now than these last 3 months have felt. So MicroStrategy, there's your weekly. Here's your daily. There's been a lot of selling and a lot of bit of testing of the 200-day moving average and the 50-day moving average and bounces. This just feels better right now, right? We still have a descending triangle that's in play. I don't know if we're gonna see that come to fruition. To me, it doesn't look like it. To me, it looks like it wants to go up. It needs a little bit more volume in the next few days to hold these levels. But it's going up $5-10 a week on average, although you have a lot of volatility. Palantir, I just started a position in this week. We've got a double bottom pattern here with a 98.17 breakout point. I thought it was breaking out yesterday. That's why I bought it. I was wrong. It went back and tested the 50-day moving average, and it's right around there today. But I'm writing calls, and I've sold deep in the money calls, certainly deep in the money at this point, to be able to make about 4% over the next 16 days. whether the stock goes up, down, or sideways. That's the goal. And then eventually, if it goes up, then I will continue to, write calls against it and make money on the stock. I think it's finally the selling is out of the way on this one. You see the relative strength rating is at 99. So things look good. Amazon, I hate to say this, but we got a death cross coming. This is almost a dog with fleas now. Think about it. If you've got tariffs from China and Amazon sells tons of products that come from China and China's raising prices on things, and it may get fixed, and I'm not talking about all that. I'm just saying right now that there's a trade war. And if there's a trade war, isn't that going to affect Amazon? If they got to pay more for their prices, then consumers aren't going to be able to buy as many Amazon products. And I don't see Amazon going up in the short term unless there's a trade deal, and that's still going to take some time. All this is going to take time, but I think right now you got probabilities to the downside. Facebook, I wouldn't touch it. Dreaded H happening. Look at the down from 750 down to 500. This stock is breaking down, and there's antitrust problems and some issues that Zuckerberg has. Alphabet, same thing. Google's got issues, right? Dreaded H coming up on Alphabet. So I'll leave you, well, I'll do three more because these are the short side. I'm playing this juicy put strategy on the short side, which is basically covered calls flipped and using stocks that are going down instead of going up, and just making the juice on those because you have a better probability of doing that. DR Horton, great company, lousy stock, lousy market, right? Interest rates are high and probably going higher. At least short term right now, the markets are saying that they're going higher. Then we've got a recession. We've got a lot of inventory on the market, and they're not going to be building as many homes. I just don't see them building as many homes. And so I think in the short term, you're seeing a downtrend, and certainly the chart is showing that. And so I'm on the short side of DR Horton. Best Buy, same thing. Look at this gap here. Look at this gap here at 70. That's a lot of gaps that have not been filled. And look at the personality change. It went from this kind of low volume, most of the time to every once in a while on earnings, spiking volume to like every day is above average volume, right? There's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Best Buy. Again, China, right? You're buying Chinese TVs and Chinese stuff, and they're going to raise prices on Chinese stuff. And if you're selling Chinese stuff, your margins are going to get hurt. If your margins get hurt, your earnings get hurt. If your earnings get hurt, your stock goes down. That's what everybody's seeing in the market. That's why we got gaps that have not been filled. That's why you got to be on the short side, I believe, of Best Buy. Last one, JD is kind of the Amazon of China. This is a horrible looking stock to me. It was doing great. It was holding above its 50 for a while, gap down, filled the gap, and then created another gap a couple of days ago right here. Now we're below the 200-day moving average. This one looks like it could go into the 20s if it can't hold this 32 bucks. This one's in trouble, I think. And they're talking about delisting Chinese companies. I don't think we're going to get any of that. If we do, boy, I'll be sitting pretty. But meantime, you can play some things to the short side using a covered put strategy or a juicy put strategy, which is what I call it. Anyway, I will leave you there. Thank you for being here as always. And I'll just take an extra moment to say, look, life is a bit more about the friends and the family and the love that you have in your life and the smiles and the laughter than it is about making money. Money's great. It just makes all the other stuff even better. But if you don't have that other stuff, you don't have a life. So go focus on your friends, your family, the people you love in your life. Smile and laugh and have a great time. Happy Easter, everybody. I'll see you next week on the next Market Pulse. Take care.